Alright, let's move on. We talked about something bad. Let's go back and talk about something good. Let's go talk about something good. What else we got we can talk about? Let's talk about the archives, right? Have I tried the new hostels yet? I did. I did try the new hostels yet. Let's go talk about the archives. So we did our video last week when we saw Beck's video and kind of got a feel for what it was going to look like and be. And this is definitely an area Scopely undersold and buried the lead on this mechanic because they didn't really get into it. And even when we were doing that video last week, we kind of had to stop and read the fine print a little bit, uh, and kind of just get into how it was going to work and how it was going to sort of take away the things because we didn't see the value in it on paper. Right? It's like, oh great, I'm going to add some extra claims so I don't have to do some refinery clicks. But I don't mine data. I don't use these ships to go out and kill anything anymore. I just take the X-Borg bundles and then I just dump them into the refinery. Didn't quite grasp the concept because they didn't sell that concept very well, that they're taking the refinery away completely and just being like, hey, you never have to do this ever again, and we're just going to give you the free stuff. We're just going to say, thanks for doing this content 3 years ago. We're glad, hope you enjoyed it. We're done with it, and we hope you're done with it too. And now you just get some free stuff for the rest of time. Now, of course, gaining access to that free claim is time gated by the fact that you have to level up the building, and it's also restricted by the fact you have to hit max tiers of each of these ships in order to sunset that content. That makes sense though, because honestly, until you've maxed out the ship, you're not really done with that content. So that's kind of where I see things. And I think that this part is fair. Now, obviously, we knew it was going to be tied in some way to the building and upgrading that because there had to be a time gate on this. Because how else were you going to be able to sell content and monetize it? And there's actually two, because not only do you have to get the building upgraded to a certain level, but then you also need these data shards to actually go in and start pulling stuff. The first with this whole Botany Bay track is free. You don't have to use any of your data shards on the Botany Bay track. Most of the materials and stuff here are all related to data mining and upgrading the Botany Bay, which, since this is a thing that happens at level 18, 92% of us are going to have no use for that. What you do get out of it, though, is a little bit of just generic mining speed, and then the free daily claim, which is going to give you stuff you don't want, clogging up your inventory, a small amount of independent credits, and a bunch of officer XP and transporter patterns every single day. That's fine. I'm good with that. And you come over here to some of your other ships. Vidar, you get at what, 25? Okay, this is going to help you start leveling, get to have the building and have the ship, start tearing this up. It's going to give you more nanoprobes. It's going to give your cost efficiency to make your components cheaper. So not only are you more likely to be able to do double refines and get extra parts, but they're also making it cheaper for you to upgrade the ship, so you get through this content faster. This is a win. This is a win for newer players to the game who, grinding up a Vidar between 25 and 35, so it's ready and willing at tier 9 for you to just upgrade it and get your Talios mission and get that process going. This is going to make that a lot easier. It's also going to help you have a viable ship like the Vidar to use in place of some of the other smaller faction ships. Maybe you don't need a Saladin because you have a Vidar and you can pick something different. You can get away with having a Centurion or whatnot. Maybe. You can certainly probably get away with not having to need like a D3. Skip a 26 because my Vidar is good enough to get me there. Could make sense. So, and for those of us who have already passed this content, we're talking about getting a little bit of extra damage boost against non-Armada hostiles. Not a big deal. Not really a big deal. What's in the claim here? A small amount of faction credits every day, 600 apiece, and 100,000 reputation. Probably not going to be the one that I master first. This one's probably not a high priority. Not a high priority. You get the Golden Vidar avatar. Yeah. Denver says the mining bonus to the Botany Bay is broken. Instead of giving you 3 times data mining speed, it makes you stick. So basically, you stay on the node 3 times longer. Interesting. You end up getting more loot at the end of it, but you have to stay there longer. Interesting. Because of the data, because of the bonus. But you're also getting a boost to mining speed, so that should also help offset some of that, I guess. I don't know. We always know that with numbers and things, sometimes they put a decimal in the wrong place, and it can mess up some of them calculations. All right, let's see what else we got. The Talios one seems a little bit better. Not only are you getting the ability to upgrade your Talios cheaper and getting more of a nanoprobe increase, which will let you do more it lets you do the double refinery pull easier. So if you're in your 30s and you're working your way up into your 40s and you're leveling up this ship, it's going to get easier for you to upgrade as you go. Okay. You're also going to get more solo armada credits, which is going to let you be able to pull more of those boxes, which is going to source you some of those officers and things faster. We like those. It's also going to make your component a little bit cheaper to upgrade here. Universally, you're getting a small max cargo increase. That part's okay. The Talios does not max until Ops 58. So this stuff is only going to be for higher level players, at which point in time you're not really upgrading the ship anymore. You notice how you don't really get any extra nanoprobes or anything after like tier 9. You're kind of just stuck for the last couple tiers on your own. But what you're pulling out of here, I don't know why they give you more charged nanoprobes. I guess maybe so you can still pull something out of the refinery, I guess. But you're getting over 2,000 faction credits a day for each of the 3 factions, and you're getting 60 million rep for each of the 3 factions. Every single day, for free. Just poof, there you go. You're also getting 200 of the uncommon solo directives. And then you've got chances at getting some of the other directives and the Borg Queen and Dezok, because this is from the expansion cube bundle here, which is going to get pulled out. The solo armada boxes are not getting pulled out. Those you're still going to have to do the solos, get the loot, and do the turn-ins on that. But sourcing the directives for them is going to be easier, and you can basically stop doing expansion cubes, which thank God, because nobody really ever seemed to want to do those. How'd I get 275 of this currency? Yeah, it must have just been from the mission. Also, every time you level the building up, every 5 levels, your currency changes. Your daily pull changes too. So my building's up to 7. It starts at 50 a day. So when you first do it, you get 50. You build the thing, and then between the materials you have from the gift chest, and if you use the code on the website, you get another 400, which is enough to get you the building up to like level 6 or 7 here. And when you get to level 5, this changes from 50 to 75. So you get a new daily claim. Resets your chest here in your building resources, so you can pull it again. Can you skip the Botany Bay and Vidar and go to the You can go to whichever one you want first. The Botany Bay is free, though. Like, that track doesn't cost you anything to upgrade. There are no upgrade requirements associated with it. Like, you still have the requirements at the top, but this one isn't costing you anything, any of your data shards to unlock each of these milestones. You just have to have your Botany Bay tiered up appropriately and your archive building leveled up appropriately to get there. What's up, Booty? You guys are doing expansion cubes right now? Funny. For the other ones, there is actually a cost with each individual milestone. You can do them in whatever order you want. These seem like the better ones to do. The Talios is giving you, if you're not upgrading, still working on upgrading the ship, okay, this is going to make that easier for you. This is going to give you a little bit more of a payout from your solo armadas, which will give you more officer sourcing and things like that. Voyager, same thing. You're going to get more loot increase. This is both the Herogen relics and the biotoxins that you get off the 8472 hostiles. So now you can do more of these pulls to get more of your commerce insignias, so you can finish up your field training faster, or so you can source ship parts faster. Like, these seem like better things to do. A boost to the mining sample. Well, this is going to give you extra loot. This isn't going to make it faster. This is just going to give you more when you're on the nodes. Okay. I mean, you still have to mine X percentage of it in order to finish that field training. Its universal ability is making your ship repair a little bit cheaper, but this is a minor change, and you've got a lot of other stuff adding to this already, so this is not making much of an impact there. What's the code? Q Surprise was the web store code. That's the code you put into the website. And it'll give you, I think, 400 of the new currency for the building, along with a couple of Q shards. So, and obviously Voyager's got a bunch of tiers here. Eventually you're going to get, a good repair bonus out of it. Probably a couple, like 200, well, 300% by the time you master it, 350 or so, which isn't bad at all. And then you come back over here and you look at what you're getting. You're getting 300 commerce insignias every single day. That's a lot of ship parts you can pull. This is a pretty good thing. You're getting chances at these. Obviously, you won't need more Voyager ship parts because your Voyager's maxed by the time you're pulling it. So I don't know why they're giving you that unless you want to build a second Voyager, which you could. And then obviously this is for the research. And then here you've got the artifacts, which turn into other fragments and things, which are fine. Where do you max Voyager ops level? 51, I think, because there's only the one ops requirement on it, if I'm not mistaken. But we can check that on stfc.space. But I'm pretty sure it's 51. Is the only time it has a component. I think it's to go from like tier 7 to tier 8. Yeah. So you need this coaxial warp drive G5 part to go from tier 7 to tier 8. And then after that, you don't need anything else. So once you get to 51, you can get that component out of your refinery, and then you can take it the rest of the way. It's expensive to upgrade, but you can do it. At 51, you need rare gas. You actually need epic gas, epic G5 gas a little bit here too. I mean, if you have a way to source that, or you just buy a pack or two, if that's what you want to go. By the time you get up into your mid 50s, 53, 54, 55, you should have the ship finished up. But that's got the same requirement, and I believe the Monaveen is also the same thing. Monaveen also has a similar tier up mechanic here. Going from 6 to 7. Yeah. So from 6 to 7, you need this Dragonfire warp drive component, which you have to be Ops 51 to get. But then after that, same thing. It doesn't take any other unique things other than just, 5-star rare and 5-star epic materials, which you can buy. could certainly be helpful there with that. And then lastly is the Monaveen one. Again, as you're leveling up the ship, you're getting more of the net ship loot increases. You're getting more cargo, so you can AFK grind longer. Your components are getting a little cheaper, so you can upgrade the ship faster. And your universal benefit is Apex Barrier in PvP. 100, 250, 350, 450, 550, 6, 700, 850, 1250, and then here's another 250 there, so 1500 Apex Barrier in PvP by the time you finish the chain out. That's going to make a difference. That's going to make a difference in some PvP fights for sure. And obviously the sooner you can get to this and get this completed, the sooner you can also start to get this on a daily basis. Again, why do you need Monaveen parts if you max the ship? Don't know, but you can build more than one, so in case you want to build a second one. But then you'll also get materials, which does change based on your ops level. This is your daily bundles you're pulling here. There's your research material. There's your shipyard directives. And then you're getting chances at the materials because this is what you get from pulling that shipyard bundle. And again, it's just a free daily claim. So how did I unlock the first level of Monaveen? I have the ship and the archive building at level 1. I mean, I could take it right now if I wanted to and spend the resources. But I haven't exactly decided what I want to do just yet. This is going to take the building getting to 30, which is going to take a while. The Talios only requires the building to get to 26. Voyager requires getting the building to 35. That's actually the longest one. Wow. And it's the most expensive path, too. Some of these costs in here are pretty high. I guess they really value Voyager in that loop. Mission gives the loot after 3. Yes, there's also the mission that they give you, I think, also may have given you a little bit of the currency as well, just to kind of give you a head start on picking one. Yeah, if you're a G6 player and you've got the skin, and then now you're getting, you know, these the Sigma materials as well in here, that seems like a no-brainer. But even this, as a high G5 player, like I have a lot of buildings I need to upgrade at 58 and 59 to get to 60. Having 2.4 trillion par steel per day would certainly make that process incredibly easy. Not to mention getting additional uncommon, rare, and epic materials to continue upgrading ships. And if you're looking at what we're thinking about here, just in terms of Apex Barrier for PvP, if I'm going to have to do arenas, or I'm going to have to do, you know, incursions and alliance tournament fights, I don't know, territory takeovers, this one seems like it's going to have the most impact right now, at least in the direction the game seems to be trending. So this is probably the one I would start with, but I could certainly understand maybe people going after Voyager if they still want ship parts and the commerce insignias. But just note that this path is also the hardest one to complete because you have to get the building to 35, and each of these steps to unlock is also the most expensive. These are a lot cheaper along the way, considerably cheaper. So you're more likely to finish the Monaveen or the Talios first. The Monaveen is probably the one universally more significant. Not only are you getting resources, you're getting Apex Barrier, and the cost to complete it is reasonable, not to mention the fact of upgrading the ship. Talios, you have to get to 58 before you can max that out, whereas these you can max out earlier. So I think I just talked myself into it. I think we're doing the Monaveen track first. Let's take track 1 right there. There we go. We just got an extra 50 apex barrier. And now we'll work on some of the rest of these. I'm not even sure. I don't think my Monaveen is actually even maxed yet. I think I'm a little light on parts still. Yeah, we're only tier 11. I still need a couple of components, I guess. 1, 2, 5 components still left. But hey, if I start upgrading this track, it's going to lower that cost. And it's going to make it easier for me to finish up the ship. So I'm not going to do these components now. I'm just going to sit on them and wait till I get further into the track. And I'm going to watch how this is no longer 1,072. Maybe it'll be down to like 800 or 900 by the time I'm done. So, yeah, I feel like that's kind of the win. I feel like that's kind of the winner there. But I like the mechanic. I'm sure we'll see it expanded hopefully in the future to cover additional ships.